What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a video that I thought would be a very good one. These are teams that no longer exist. If you guys like these kinds of videos, remember, leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, add me on Snapchat, follow me on Twitter, hit all these socials in my bio. Also, the way I thought of this video was that yesterday I was watching, I was just Googling some teams. I was doing a quiz. It was a Stanley Cup quiz, and from who won the Stanley Cup each year, and the Montreal Maroons were on there. I'm like, what? I've never heard of this team. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go into a little bit more research, a little bit more depth of these teams, a little bit. If you guys want me to do like an individual series of each team that no longer existed, I can. If you guys like these kinds of videos, I'm going to leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, add me on Snapchat, follow me on X. It used to be Twitter, now X. But yeah, let's get into this. Alright, so our first team we're going to be talking about is the Montreal Wanderers. That's a hard name to say. They only existed one season, 1917-1918. They were not that good. They did have some players. They had Jack McDonald, Art Ross, who has a trophy named after him, and Billy Bell. The Montreal Wanderers, their record-wise, their logos were okay, but, like, record-wise for these teams, in their one season, they were the Montreal Maroons. No. The Montreal Wanderers. They were 6-1-5. Okay. 1917, 1918 team. But yeah, they were okay. I shouldn't say they were the best, but they were okay. The Quebec Bulldogs are next. Alright, so the Quebec Bulldogs, they were another team that didn't really exist that long. They existed one season, another 1917, 1918. They had Eddie Carpenter, who was actually from the United States. I don't know where. But that was like their only notable player that I could find in their season. Their record was 24-4-20. Yikes. These teams must be bad. Good lord. 40. They were only playing about like 50 games a season, so oh well. Alright, next we got the Hamilton Tigers, and they are a team that... Sorry guys, I have the Astros and Rangers game on. It's going to be a good series. But I'm not talking about that. We're not here to talk about that crap. Now we have the Hamilton Tigers, who they had 5 seasons. Their total record in this 5 seasons, they had 126 games, 47, 28, and 1. Oh. Okay. So they played 120. Wait, what about the Montreal Wanderers? What was some of their logos. If you guys want me, their games played, they only played 6 games, so they were 1-5. The Quebec Bulldogs were... The Quebec Bulldogs, they only played 24 games, and they were 4-20. Yikes. The Hamilton Tigers played 126 games. Good lord. 47, 78, and 1. Yikes. That's a lot of hockey. 126 games? That's more than what they play now at 82 games. Good lord. Now you have the Philadelphia, by the way, the Hamilton Tigers were 1920 to 1925, and their notable players were Ken Randall. Never heard of the guy, but you know what? Well, I feel like that's a notable player that they had. The Philadelphia Quakers, they were only one season, 1930, 1931, and their only notable player was Joe Miller. I mean, that I could find, basically. I mean, there's a lot of other ones. There's, like, the Philadelphia Junior Firebirds, the Philadelphia Quakers. Yeah, they were the NHL, but yeah, they were pretty. They did not play any games, so how sad was that? No, wait, yes, they did. They played 44 games, 436 and 4. Yikes. Yikes, was this team bad? The Philadelphia Quakers were really bad. And their only notable player was, I already said that. Alright, the next is the St. Louis Eagles. And St. Louis Eagles hockey, yeah. They were another team that was, from what I've seen, was pretty bad. I mean, some of these teams' logos, you guys, they played 48 games. They were 11-31 and 6. They were one season again, 1934 to 1935. Their only notable player that I could find was a guy by the name of Teddy Graham, like the Teddy Graham. That's kind of a good name to have, Teddy Graham. But yeah, they didn't make the playoffs. Their coach, his name was George Bouchard. I don't know, I totally just butchered that, but oh well. But yeah, they were pretty good. Alright, I mean, they were bad. They did not make playoffs. I don't even know how playoffs worked in this time period. Our next team is the Montreal Maroons. So if you guys actually in the background, that is my TV. So, yeah. He was heartbroken because he wanted everyone to be filled, not with food and wine, but with compassion. Alright, so the Montreal Maroons, they were 14 seasons, 1924 to 1938. In their 14 seasons, they had played 622 games, 271 wins, 260 losses, and 91 overtime losses, and zero shootout losses. All of these teams do not exist anymore, but their only notable player was the guy by the name of Fred Brown. Alright, so our next team we have are the Brooklyn Americans. Brooklyn Americans. They were another team that was pretty interesting. They were, let me find the Brooklyn American statistics. They were 17 seasons, 1925 to 1941, and their only notable player that I could find was Alex Smith. I mean, they had other ones, but they all had like names that I could not pronounce. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go with the guy that had a name I could pronounce. But they were 17 seasons. They had a total of 784 games, 255 wins, 402 losses, and 127 overtime losses. My God, that's just bad. These New York Americans, aka the Brooklyn Americans, they were just pretty bad. They were bad. Next is actually one of my favorites, is the California Golden Seals. And they were pretty, I mean, their jerseys, guys. If you guys want me to make a video about, like, each team and their jerseys and the California Golden Seals. I mean, some of these teams' logos look pretty cool. Like, the California Golden Seals, those were pretty cool. Now the California Golden Seals, they only had 9 seasons. They only existed 9 seasons, 1967 to 1976. And their notable player was Kent Douglas. And they had 698 games played, 182 wins, 401 losses, and 115 overtime losses. And yeah, there was another team that was pretty bad. Yeah. Alright, so our next team is the Kansas City Scouts, again, which is a team that they were pretty bad. I mean, their logo was just basic. Just say K-A-N, right? Yeah. I'm sorry guys, this is a long video. But hey, I'm trying to talk about all the teams that existed. But then the Kansas City Scouts they were how long? 2 seasons, 1974 to 1976. In those 2 seasons, they played 160 games, 27 wins, 110 losses, and 23 overtime losses. Their only notable player that I could find was a guy by the name of Mike Bumgarner, just like what's his name, Madison Bumgarner, but it's spelled B-A-U-M. Alright, our next team we're talking about here is the Cleveland Barons. And this team, they only existed for... They existed for another 2 seasons, 1976 to 1978. So yeah, I mean, they were another team that they played. Wait, yeah, they're Cleveland Barons. Yeah, their notable player for the Cleveland Barons was a guy by the name of Jean-Paul Parise, and they had 160 games played, 47 wins, 87 losses, 26 overtime losses. And yeah, they were franchise known as the North Stars. Okay, so they basically merged with the Minnesota North Stars, who are now the Dallas Stars, I believe. But the Cleveland Barons, yeah, they were not that good. Let's see. Our next team we're going to be talking about here is the Colorado Rockies, which is kind of funny because that's actually a baseball team in real life. So, yeah, I mean, now that I believe they are the Colorado Avalanche, I believe. I don't even know what they are now. But they existed for... Wait, the next team we're going to be talking about is, the Colorado... Okay, we can do the Colorado... no, the Atlanta Flames are next. Never mind. Atlanta Flames, which are now, I believe, the Calgary Flames. I'm getting ahead of myself. Holy crap. What the frick? Alright, so they were around for 8 seasons. They existed for 8 seasons. 1972 to 1980. And their only notable player is a guy you've probably all heard of before by the name of Rick Bowness, who, by the way, I believe he is still he coaches the Winnipeg Jets. Okay, so he's actually played for the Atlanta Flames. How funny is that? I don't remember how long he played for, but yeah, he was their only notable player, which, by the way, he has a coach now, so that's actually kind of fitting that I was talking about him there. And in 8 seasons, they had 636 games played, 268 wins, 260 losses, and 108 overtime losses. I mean, in general, they were pretty. They were kind of good. They were the team that you should have rooted for. But now you have the Colorado Rockies, which is kind of funny because that's a hockey team, a baseball team now, and they existed for 6 seasons from 1976 to 1982. And their only notable player that I could find was Bill Baker, and their logo is a mountain with the sea, with the Colorado, like the sea, how it is for Colorado Colorado Avalanche, I believe. Let me see if I can find the Colorado Avalanche. I mean the Avalanche logo that sometimes people use. I mean, Avalanche old logo is sometimes, and I mean, it's a cool logo. I really like some of these logos of these really old teams. Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like the, oh, the Quebec Nordiques are now the Colorado Avalanche, okay. Which we'll get to here in a minute. Alright, our next team is the Colorado Rockies, like I said. And the Colorado Rockies, they played 480 games, 113 wins, 281 losses, and 86 overtime losses. But they only were around for 6 seasons. Our next team is going to be the Quebec Nordiques. And they were around for, they existed for 16 seasons from 1979 to 1995. And they are now currently the Colorado Avalanche, which is way much, oh my god, that team is good. So in their 116 seasons, they played 1,256 games, 497 wins, 599 overtime losses, and 160 overtime losses, or ties, overtime losses, and shootout losses. I don't know, that last one, and 160 was that last one. But you know what? The key player on that team was a guy by the name of Bruce Bell. Our next team, by the way, is the Hartford Whalers. And this is actually, they are now currently the Carolina Hurt. I want to say, I don't know. What are they at? Yeah, they're currently the Carolina Hurricanes. Okay. Yeah. I actually don't mind them that. I don't mind that. But they were around for 18 seasons. Good lord. And they existed from 1979 to 1997, which is 18 seasons. Their notable player was a guy by the name of Greg Adams. And he was decent. But in general, they played, in their 18 seasons, they played 1,420 games. They had 534 wins, 709 and 177. That was a lot. That's a lot of games in total. But in last but not least, we have the Atlanta Thrashers, who they played for 11 seasons. They existed up until, like, 12 years ago. As of 12 years ago, this team existed. They are now currently the Winnipeg Jets from 2011 until 2023, 2024. So they existed, 11 seasons. But in those 11 seasons, they had 902 games played, 342 wins, 437 losses, 437, 437, 45, 49, 29. And 0. But in those, their notable player was Grant Lewis, but they also had they also had, like, very famous, hockey players, like Colby Armstrong, who you guys should know, who is now currently a Penguins broadcaster, Zach Boguson. Who else was there? Dustin Bufflin, Chris Chelios, who is now an NHL announcer. Ron Hainsey, who used to play for the Penguins. I remember Ron Hainsey very well. Marian Hoza, that's another name I know well. Evander Kane is another one I know very well. He's still in the league now. I'm not exactly sure where he is. Andrew Ladd, it's a good one. He was a pain in my butt. Who else is there? There was... He's on here somewhere. But I know he's on here somewhere. No, he's not. Yes, he is. And I saw him. Grant Lewis. He only played a 1 game. Pascal Dupuis. Another one you guys should know. But the big one that you guys should all know is if I can find his name. Former Penguin. Oh yeah, Ilya Kovalchuk. Chris Kunitz. Chris Kunitz was the big name that you all should know and love because he was part of the 2016 Stanley Cup run. My God, Brian Little even I think he's on the league. Who else? Here somewhere. Blake Willard, another one that you guys should know. But yeah, those were all like big. Keith Tkachuk, who was the father of what's his name, Brady and Matthew Tkachuk. There you go. Brain think, and I need you to think. But yeah, that's pretty much everybody that was on. Oh, not Carlsenberg. That's all like names that you guys all should know and all should recognize. Brian Adams. I don't know if that's the name you guys recognize. Let me see if he played for the Penguins. Brian Adams. Hockey. Wait, how do you spell his name? B-R-Y-A-N. He played for NHL. So he was, no. He only played from the Atlanta Thrashers for a season. 2 seasons, sorry. But yeah, if you guys like these kinds of videos and you want me to continue this kind of stuff on the channel, and give this a little thumbs up. Remember, leave a like, subscribe to the notification bell, add me on Snapchat at Lack73, follow me on Twitter, follow me on X, all my socials in my bio, and I will see you all probably tomorrow for another video. Peace.